Okay, a little bit of a different video today. This one's coming straight from the dome. It's coming from the heart. I haven't planned any of this out, haven't scripted it out. There are just a couple things that have been on my mind that I want to talk about and I want to share with you guys. And so I'm just going to get into what those are. What I want to talk about today is putting yourself out there and co-creating community. Now what's bringing this to mind for me is an amazing weekend that I just had down at the Mr. America contest in Atlantic City, New Jersey. But before I get to that, I want to give a little bit of a backstory about myself. I started working out in the summer of 2019, and shortly after that I ended up going vegan as well. Now these are two things that not a lot of people in my life had in common with me. I didn't know a ton of people who were really into working out, even though I was an exercise science major, and I didn't really know anyone in my life who was vegan either. So I'd say for the first year or two of lifting and then also of adopting that vegan lifestyle, I definitely felt a little bit alone and isolated, and I would say the peak of this was when I was in my first semester of graduate school after completing my undergrad degree. I was really not having a great time with where I was. I didn't feel connected to a lot of the people around me. The campus itself that I was living on was a little bit isolated. I wasn't able to really get out and meet people or do things, and so that was a really tough time for me. In my free time, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, listening to podcasts, basically anything I could to continue to learn about these things that I was really passionate about. At the end of that semester, I decided to look for some jobs because I could not see myself continuing in graduate school. And I think it would have been kind of easy enough for me to just continue on with education and getting my graduate degree. I've always been pretty good at school and I can kind of get through even if I'm not enjoying it. But for myself, I've always felt that I get the most out of me when I care about and I'm truly invested in the things that I'm doing and the way that I'm spending my time. So that just wasn't an option for me to continue to explore further, and I decided to put myself out there and apply to a couple jobs. One of the jobs that came up was an online vegan fitness coach job, which was basically perfect for what I was looking for at that time. And even though I didn't feel like I was qualified or I didn't know if I would be able to meet the criteria that they had, I decided why not? I'll put myself out there, I'll fill out the job application. I skipped class actually to fill out the application. I spent a ton of time writing these really detailed responses to any of the interview questions that they had. I actually ended up dropping out of graduate school before I even got that job, but I just had a really good feeling about how things were going, and I knew that I would figure something out even if I didn't get it. But I did happen to get that job, and I met so many cool individuals working there, and I think this was kind of the first time in my life where I really felt like I was connected to a community of individuals who shared similar passions, they were like-minded, and that was really inspiring and eye-opening for me. At the same time, I started to put myself out there in other ways. All these YouTube videos that I was watching, I decided to like and comment and share my opinion, which I had never really done before because I had always figured, what's the point? And I think I had that attitude about a lot of things in life, that I couldn't make a difference and that nothing that I did really mattered. I wouldn't be able to change the world in any significant way because I'm just a speck of dust floating through the universe, and what does it matter what I do? And I remember that being part of the reason why I didn't really care about animal welfare or animal agriculture for such a long time, because I felt like, what do my individual choices as a consumer, what dent am I going to make in this gigantic problem? Everyone else is doing it, so whatever, I'll just do it as well. And at some point, my mindset kind of just switched into, no, I do have an impact, like the choices that I make do matter, even if they're on a small scale. If I inspire the people around me and there's kind of this ripple effect, then that is how change happens. It starts with one person and it spreads to other people. And if everyone had the mindset of, oh, my opinion doesn't matter or what I do doesn't matter because I'm just one person, then nothing would ever change. And so I started to apply this to so many different areas of my life. I would comment on these YouTube videos and I would actually start to interact and get to know the person that I was watching their videos. That was really cool because I looked up to these people and I still do look up to a lot of them. And now I feel like I've actually started to create some connections there. I started to seek out online communities and meet people that way, go to in-person events even if I didn't know anyone there because I could make some friends, and why not? Why not just put myself out there? I started to do things like randomly text friends how much I appreciated them and how much they meant to me. Or on Instagram, if I saw some post that I liked, I would actually comment and like and interact with the person, and they would interact with me back. And in turn, I noticed that a lot of people started interacting with stuff that I was doing on the internet. They started commenting on my things, taking interest in my life and what I was up to. And that kind of continued that momentum in both ways. I continued to put myself out there, interact with people, and started to build a community of friends and like-minded folks around me, and that was something that I had truly never experienced before. I started attending workshops and seminars. That's where I met my friend Ben, who I went down to Atlantic City to watch compete in the Mr. America contest this past weekend. I would have never done that if I hadn't put myself out there and just decided, hey, I'm gonna go to this event with nobody I know. My other friend Jake, he might be watching this video as well, I don't know. Another person that I met just going to this seminar, going to this workshop, and now he's, one of my good friends, somebody I talk to a lot over the internet. And that's something I think that's really cool about all the technology that we have. If you want to, you can make the most of it, and you can use it to feel more connected to people who inspire you and push you and want you to become the best version of yourself. I have a new friend, Alex, who I recently met over YouTube, and I know that he might be watching this video, and I've been watching his videos, and that's been a cool friendship that I'm creating. So the point that I really want to make is that don't be afraid to show love and appreciation and interact with things that you find educational or useful, and let that person know, because it means a lot. When somebody gives me a compliment, or when somebody says, hey, I love this video that you made or this post that I made, it makes my day, honestly. And I'm sure it's the same for bigger creators, even though they're maybe a little bit more sensitized to it. They appreciate those comments just the same. We're all human beings. We all like recognition and affirmation. And so that was something that I felt really strongly this weekend, was going down to this Mr. America contest in Atlantic City. I was staying with a friend of mine from college, so it was great to see her. And I wasn't even sure if I was necessarily going to reach out to her, but I decided why not? Because I hadn't seen her in like 2.5 years since college. And it was a great time, just hanging out, spending time with her, meeting her friends and her family, and going to see around her town. Something that would have never happened if I didn't, again, put myself out there, do something that was maybe a little bit uncomfortable, but something that I knew I would appreciate in the end. I think I'm somebody who gets really caught up in just doing my daily routine. I enjoy the things that I do, and so sometimes I can go for long periods of time without reaching out to people, without connecting and going to places and going out and just doing things, experiences. And I'm realizing that these memories that I create by going to these things, I saw coworkers from my previous job. I saw a lot of other people that I've met through the natural bodybuilding industry. Even though I've never even competed in it, I'm still finding that I'm making a lot of connections, I'm making friends, and I know that they're going to be in my life for many years, and that's really exciting and encouraging. So I guess I'm just making this video to share my own experience and to encourage you to, tell somebody that they mean something to you. Tell them that you like what they're doing. Tell them that you are inspired by them. Tell them, hey, I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate that you're in my life. Because you never know what somebody's going through, first of all, and that kind of comment alone can mean a lot. What you put out is what you get back. That's something that I live by. If you are putting out positivity and you're putting out good energy into the world, you're going to get that back. Even if it doesn't feel like it all the time, the more that you continue to do that, the more that you're going to get back. And that doesn't mean that you're necessarily doing it as a means to an end. All I'm trying to say is that if you choose to spread kindness, you encourage connection, and overall I think it just creates a richer support system of people who you can rely on, who you can lean on, who want to see you succeed. I don't even think the people that you surround yourself with have to have the same goals or passions as you. I find that when I'm with somebody who's passionate about whatever it is that they're passionate about, that inspires me. I don't necessarily need somebody to be interested in fitness or bodybuilding in order for me to be able to respect and really admire what they're doing in their field and their craft. So I'm going to leave it there. It was a little bit ranty and rambly, I'm sure, but I hope that you got something out of this. If you can relate to this message or anything that I'm saying here, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it. If you like this kind of video that's a little bit less structured, more off the top, please let me know. I'm happy to make more of them, and I'll see you in the next video.